Welcome everyone to our September Board of Education meeting. Could we please stand for the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming. We have a quorum this evening, and in case it looks a little different, one of our board members is attending through virtual. So Ellen, welcome, and that might look a little different for all of you, but we've got this all under control. Okay, item 3.03, superintendent comments.
Thank you, Dr. Towers. Welcome to tonight's Board of Education meeting. We are glad you have all joined us here. We got a good crowd tonight. This is exciting and online. This is not in my typed notes, but I just want to take a minute to recognize that we actually have had a tragedy literally outside our door right here, down the hill at a house right here, where an individual lost their life in a house fire last night. And so our thoughts and our prayers are with that family and all the people who are affected by that. And very, very sad situation, and I just want to make sure that we were able to say something tonight. On that note, and kind of another somber note, this past Monday throughout the SCSD, we remember the spirit of sacrifice made on September 11, 2001. We also continue to honor the sacrifices made daily by members of our armed forces and their families for keeping us and to keep us all safe. May we never forget the lives lost on 9/11 attacks. I've got some great updates for you tonight. It's going to be a little bit. Is that okay, Mr. Hewitt, with you? I like to engage people.
Is there any answer I can say other than yes?
Yeah, you're the boss. You can say what you want. We are off to a fantastic start, the 23-24 school year, and it's because of people like that right over there, our staff. Let's give them a hand. I want to thank our staff for all their hard work and dedication to getting us started on the positive path of being, see what I did there? Being safe, respectful, and responsible as we reach, teach, and empower every student every day in our district. Our biggest challenge has been what, Brendan? Power School. Come on, this is interactive, people. Let's go. Does anybody else want to say it? Okay.
Power School.
Might be a bad word in here. Our biggest challenge has been our transition to Power School, which is our new student information system. I just want to thank everyone for their continued patience, understanding, and flexibility. This transition change was not by choice, but out of necessity, as Tyler Sis has stopped their support operations. It has not been easy, to say the least. However, things are progressing nicely. It might not seem like it is, but we are. And our tech department has been working extremely long hours for months now, and we are going to continue to move forward with and it's going to be a great system once we get it all functional. So thank you for everybody's, we're very positive here, but we're also very real, and it's been a challenge for all of us. So thank you everybody for their continued support. As you probably are aware, we have had a few major construction projects taking place throughout the district, and those projects are looking really, really nice. And although some of the work will continue this year, we were very pleased that all schools were fully ready when welcoming students back on the 22nd. Just a side note, the city street department is putting up a stoplight at Ipswich, that's a fun word to say, in Zumbel. They've done a great job of actually smoothing out that entryway up into Jefferson, and so it's improved already, but there's a stoplight going in there that will help with traffic flow there even more. So we thank our partners at the city for that. Earlier, the Board of Education set the tax rate for this school year. Mr. Shields will have more on this in the financial report. That's everybody's favorite time of the board meeting. I didn't want to leave this side out for some engagement. Mr. Shields will also have a quick review on the State Senate Bill 190. It's a property tax credit, or you might call it a tax freeze, during the financial report as well. The St. Charles County Council just passed a local bill that will enact that Senate bill, and we'll talk about the effects of that. And I will say, we recognize the significance of that tax freeze for some of our residents, but it will have a negative financial implications for us in years to come. Also, earlier tonight, in closed session, we did two important things, or I didn't, the board did. And they are, first, it is actually with personal sadness, and she's smiling like ear to ear over here, but I'm happy for her that I announced that the board approved the retirement of Mrs. Julie McClard. You can clap for her. Julie is our longtime executive director of special education and special services, or student services, sorry. Mrs. McClard will finish the 23-24 school year, so she's not done yet. We will have plenty of time to celebrate Mrs. McClard throughout this year. However, I want to say personally that I thank you for all that you've done to help lead our district. It's hard to picture our central office team without you. So I'm not going to think about that for a little while. But please know how important you are to me, to all of us, and thank you again for a wonderful career. We look forward to finishing your last year with you in style. Julie McClard, everybody. Secondly, the board has approved our new Director of Business and Accounting, and that is Mrs. Jennifer Jenkins. Everybody stand up and wave to the good people. You can have a seat. Mrs. Jenkins comes to us from the special school district in the city of St. Louis, or St. Louis County, I should say, and she comes to us with a huge knowledge base, and not only is she a CPA, but also just great experience in the world of school finance, and we are thrilled she is joining our team. You can clap for her one more time. And with that said, we do wish our outgoing director, don't we? We wish her well. Mrs. Lavinia Draper, and we wish her all the best as she will start her new job later this month in the Ferguson-Florissant School District. I am friends with the superintendent of Ferguson-Florissant, and this has put a little rift in our relationship that he stole Lavinia from me. But we're glad Jennifer's coming with us, so welcome, Jennifer. I got more, sorry.
And we will miss Lavinia.
Oh, we will miss Lavinia. So a few weeks ago, and Mr. Kearns talked about this or 2 months ago, I think, but I wanted to make sure we weren't able to have our open session last month, at least in here with people. So a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago, it was my honor to attend the 2023 St. Louis Regional Teacher of the Year ceremony and reception. And why was I there, you ask? Our very own Mr. Jeffrey Collier, our band teacher at Hardin Middle School, was selected as one of 10 St. Louis Regional Teachers of the Year. You can clap for that, but we have more. That is extremely awesome, but Mr. Collier went on, his wife joined us as well at the ceremony as well, did Dr. Jewett, our wonderful principal at Hardin. And then just recently, Mr. Collier was named one of the top 17 finalists in the entire state of Missouri, which is really, really cool. And we get to go to, well, we're going together.
We're going.
Dr. Towers is making me drive her, but we are moving. We're getting to
My
go,
driver.
We are able to accompany Mr. Collier at the state dinner with all the 17 finalists, and we're just thrilled for Mr. Collier. So let's clap for him one more time. And I'm just going to keep going. We got great things. Mrs. Zero, this is for you because you helped us get this going in our district. So the MSBA, which is the Missouri School Boards Association, has an annual student scholarship called the John T. Belcher Scholarship that is awarded to a graduating senior in each of the 17 MSBA regions, and one regional winner will be selected as a state winner. Our Board of Education empowers our high school admin and counseling teams to select one applicant that will apply for the scholarship and represent the district. With that said, our senior nominee is from St. Charles High School this year, and his name is Chris Kimsey. You can clap for Chris. Congratulations to Chris. Chris will be applying and representing the district in the contest, and if he wins, there is a scholarship, a regional scholarship for $1,000, and if he wins that, he gets to go on to the state level, and he could receive an additional $1,500 of scholarships. So good luck to Chris, and what a great program. And Ellen, thanks for bringing that to our attention, and we get that going, which is great for our kids. And hopefully Chris can get some money. Fall sports season has started. It's been a fun time to get out and see the Pirates and the Warriors play. I just want to encourage everybody, from sports, activities, performing arts, events, you name it, our kids do it. Get out and see them. Go Pirates and go Warriors as always. And we have worked hard to prepare for this meeting tonight. We will have important discussion and presentations on. We have consent agenda items as well, obviously. We have a Lincoln Elementary construction bid. We have a policy KC community engagement review that I'm sure will be riveting.
It'd be riveting.
And then we have a policy change in first reading. We also have the district financial report by Mr. Shields, always again as a crowd favorite. And my last little blurb here is we are off to a very productive start. I'm very, very proud of our staff and our students and our families. Just want to encourage us all to continue to be safe, respectful, and responsible as we would continue to work together in our school year long journey together. That was a lot, sorry.
But a lot of good, a lot of good stuff in there. So thank you for the lengthy comments. But
Yes.
Take a breath. Item 3.04, do we have any communications? No. Okay, so we are ready for item 3.05, our audience comments. And Heidi, if you'll read that.
All regular and special meetings of the board shall be open to the public. Since the board desires to be a good listener and be responsive to the community, persons desiring to address the board may do so during the time so allotted on the agenda and according to established procedures. During the audience portion of each board meeting, patrons are invited by the president to speak for or against any proposal on the tentative agenda or on any other school concern. The individual is asked to identify him or herself, limit comments to a few minutes, and avoid discussing personalities. The president reserves the right to limit the number of presentations and/or length of comments. At the discretion of the president, patrons may be recognized at other times during the board meeting. The board is very interested in audience comments. According to board policy, members cannot respond during the actual meeting. The board will listen to audience comments. If necessary, additional follow-up will occur through district administrators.
All right. So we do have 3 comment cards. Kathy, also, if you want to speak first.
Hello, I'd like to introduce Jill Meyer and myself, Kathy Ellsdorf. We are co-presidents of the SCSD, the St. Charles School District Support Staff. I would like to just reiterate the NEA vision that is a great public school for every student. We believe public education is the gateway to opportunity. We believe in partnerships with parents, families, and communities that are essential to quality public education and student success. And we believe every student, regardless of income or residence, deserves a quality education. So with these beliefs, I would like to add a safe school district and a safe school buildings. The school district, along with the school SROs, resource officers, have implemented and installed a numbering system within every school building. I'm proud to say that Hardin Middle School, because I work there, we work there, is the first in the district that is finished and complete. Officer Jeff Hayslip has taken the extra step to see that classroom numbers are placed above the door, inside and outside the classrooms. These numbers are also affixed to any exterior windows to be seen by responding personnel. So I'd like to give a big shout out to the district that you feel that this is so important, and a big shout out to Officer Hayslip, Dr. Jewett, Mr. Curtin, Ms. Smith, for their continuing efforts to keep all students and staff safe. Thank you. Thank you.
Brendan Kern.
Good evening, members of the board and central office staff. My name is Brendan Kearns. I'm the president of SCEA, the St. Charles Education Association, the local bargaining organization for certified education and professionals and nurses in the City of St. Charles School District. We had a terrific day getting to know our new employees during new teacher orientation. Hosting lunch is a fantastic opportunity for us to discuss the great work our district and organization are able to do together. It's exciting to see the energy and passion of our newest people as they begin their career here in St. Charles. We are also pleased to see that once again, the majority of our new employees have chosen to join SCEA. As an organization, we are looking forward to another great year for our students, staff, and community. Thank you.
Thank you, Brendan. You can clap for him. Our last card is for Teresa Litzitz. I know, Litznick.
You just, Teresa's fine. Okay. Hello, I'm Teresa, a mom of a St. Charles High graduate. I'm concerned about the proposed school-based health clinic that Compass Health Network wants to open in our district. I know it's just in the consideration stage. That's why I'm here. I do understand that a clinic may help kids in school and keep parents at work. But the parent factor is one big thing I am concerned about. A parent taking a child to a doctor's appointment is a big deal. It creates bonding between the parent and child, and parents can watch out for any mishaps or add important information the doctor needs to know. Parents being physically present at the doctor visit is a big deal. And if one day Compass gets federally funded through Title X, I know they're not now, but if they do one day, it will be able to bypass parents, bypass the school board and administration's policy, as well as Missouri law. Missouri state law gives school boards the power to choose if schools are allowed to distribute contraception, but federal law trumps state law, and Title X is in federal law. A clinic would also be allowed to keep a child's choice to transition a secret from parents. Title X clinics can bypass a school board's decision and are legally allowed to provide services like contraceptive drugs, including emergency contraceptive, Plan B abortion pill without parental consent. Another way for kids to have sex without parents knowing about it and getting treated with these drugs can be dangerous for teen girls' bodies. Compass Clinic in Newtown does give out contraception without parental consent. I called and a nurse told me that. Last year, Francis Howe looked into having a school-based Compass Health Clinic, and they looked at it and they declined to do it. Parents are watchdogs for their children and are their best advocates. It's vital for parents to go to doctor's visits with their child. I personally caught and stopped 2 procedures from happening to my daughter at a clinic. Tough question. In the name of students staying in school, are we moving another step closer to separating parents from parenting? I believe you want transparency. I believe you want parents' consent in the medical care of their children. And I humbly implore you, instead of canceling parents, we must cancel this clinic. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. All right. Before we go on to item 3.06, this is our chance to take a short break. And for those of you who have things that you'd like to do this evening besides listen to us, why, this is your chance to take a break. We'll give you about 5 minutes.
Take a break and
Yeah. Not take a break, make a break for it. I'm gonna roll it. We're back. Okay. We'll get started again after that short break. We're ready for item 3.06. Do I have a motion to amend or adopt the agenda?
I move to adopt the agenda as presented.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is adopted. The consent agenda. For efficiency, the school board utilizes a consent agenda. Items placed on the consent agenda are routine in nature, are among the many decisions that the board has already determined are in the domain of the administration. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion passes. Item 6.01. This is the Lincoln Elementary construction. It's for discussion. Jeremy, are you giving us anything on that, or?
Yeah, just to give you a brief description about the project in itself. It's about $2.2 million for bond money. This is a renovation of the kitchen space in addition to, it'll be built out just slightly on the west side of that building in order to provide adequate kitchen space for those staff. If you were to walk into it, with all the kitchen in the area, plus just two workers, it's very difficult to maneuver that space. Just standing in there, not even trying to work is I'm surprised that we haven't had complaints on it, to be honest with you. But it also increases the traffic flow of that hallway space so kids can grab their meal as they're walking through rather than having it carted right now. So it does increase that hallway space, emergency egress in that space as well. So we think that's a beneficial plan. There are some alternates on that as well. One of which is removing the unit ventilators in the classrooms that are no longer used from a boiler standpoint for heating and air conditioning. So removing those, opening up classroom space for those teachers, and then redesigning that classroom space, basically just filling it back in. There's some brick infill from where those ventilators used to be exposed to the exterior. So coming back from a historical nature, we need to make sure that we have that preservation in that building preserved. So making sure the brickwork gets infilled in that. Right now, if you look at Lincoln, you'll see like a grate over those spaces, wrought iron grate, and with some insulation behind it. It's not efficient for energy purposes at all. It allows a lot of air, humidity, and things of that nature to flow into it. So there's some ADA accessible ramp, I believe, attached to it as well, and then there's some lighting, some low voltage wiring that needs to be done inside of that building to enhance not only our internet capabilities, our Wi-Fi services, but also our Safe Defend devices. So it will open up some of our ability to install additional Safe Defend devices in that building. So again, the bid's for $2.2 million. If we come in bid for every other project that we have going after that project is completed, we would be looking at we're landing somewhere between $8.5 million and $9 million left of bond money. And we need that money in particular to go towards Hardin, which is currently under a design phase.
So this is a discussion item?
Or did you want an approval?
No, I wanted an approval. My
Because
apologies.
we do have we do have a recommendation.
Yeah, my apologies.
No, well, so the recommendation is to approve the bid from Aspire Construction
Aspire Construction,
for
correct.
$1.93 million,
Correct, with alternates.
with all the
Yeah.
points that you just gave us.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any discussion on that?
It's for the 2.2 is what we're going for, right? Not the 1.9. The 1.9 with the alternates equaling the 2.2.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the alternates?
Budget, was this compared to what we thought it was gonna be?
It was actually, I was thinking it would be closer to 3 million. I think the architects were as well. So
That's good news.
talking, you know, I'm obviously surprised because that's not been my experience in the tenure that I've had so far. So the architects were also pleasantly surprised at the bid. And they're hoping that's a sign of some turning points for us. Obviously not the only indicator that would go into effect, but on this particular job, yeah, it did come in under what the expectation was. I honestly, to be quite honest with you, and I mentioned this to the principal, Julie Williams there, and members of the CO team, I thought we would get the bid back and I would have to say no, just due to cost. But we wanted to go out and see, just to know for certain. So we're very pleased with how it came in.
We're tickled.
We have, Aspire's doing other stuff for us too already.
They're
right?
they've done our Blackhurst job, and they're also currently doing our press box.
Okay, I've seen a lot of the Blackhurst job because I drive by it every day.
Gotcha. That is on delay, in case you hear. It's not due to contractor, its elevator equipment was brought into the building, only to realize the elevator company ordered the wrong equipment. So it delayed the elevator by 12 weeks. So they had to build out a wall and make it look really nice, like there's not even an elevator shaft behind it, which there is.
Does that mistake fall on them?
It does not fall on the contractor, it does fall on the elevator company.
We're not paying for it.
No, we're not.
It's the moral of what that story was.
And the press box is almost, oh,
Let's talk about the press box.
let's talk
Do we,
about
do we really want to talk about it?
I thought I saw that.
Thank you
it
for
was
bringing
ready.
up a can of worms.
I thought I saw that it was ready.
It's
Jason-
functional.
Well, Dr. Seifert
You
and
can
I
say
weren't,
Jason because Jason has been very concerned about this project.
Dr. Seifert and I weren't speaking for a couple of days this week.
We just took a break.
Because of the press box.
Why do you tell everybody that?
We're honest, we're transparent.
We are transparent.
Family, we're okay. We took a break for a day.
No, seriously, the press box is, we hope, we are waiting on windows for one. So that's been a significant challenge. But the stairs weren't ready to go until the day before the second home game at St. Charles High School. So there's been some frustrations with that for every party that's been involved, but none greater than the AD at St. Charles High and the coaching staff, and then the parents watching it. But we're hopeful by the end of this month, we're fully operational in that press box.
But it is functional now. I mean.
It is
some-
functional.
Yeah, we're using that. We played a football game there Friday. We had, if you saw High West Soccer 2 nights ago, that's kind of when we lost our boiling point a little bit, just because there's more to that project than you think, oh, a press box. We all know the challenges that post-pandemic has put on the construction companies and just delays and things. But then again, we knew we would be functional to the point, but then you have to talk about the wiring of the scoreboard back up and making sure everything works, and everything just seemed like it just did not fall into place for us. Nobody really knows that but us, but well, everybody does now because you told
I
them.
brought it up.
I-
Moment of
I'm-
weakness,
It's been a struggle, but Aspire's been great to work with. Our architect firm that works with us, I mean, everybody. And then Ben Owens has just done a tremendous job over there as the AD of getting things ready. So we play football again tomorrow night over there. So we're getting there. It's just, you think it would be an easier project and it wasn't. So, but we're getting it done. And we're speaking.
All right, well, I'll try not to bring that up.
Thank you.
It's too late.
I haven't been well. Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the bid, the bid construction for Lincoln Elementary as presented?
I move that we accept the bid for Lincoln Elementary construction.
I second.
I think Brian
I think
trumped
Brian
him.
won. I think Brian won. It's all
Brian.
Brian's.
All right, Brian. Okay,
He's so sweet.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. Item 6.02. This is a discussion about policy KC. So just for some background, you see we had three documents uploaded for you to look at. And the very first one was the original policy that MSBA sent, had lots of greens and reds and things that they changed. And back in June, we looked at that, and in fact, I think it was Celinda, we looked at it and just cleaned it up and made it a lot shorter that pertained just to our policy, KC, for community engagement. And that's the second document that you see. And we approved that on June 8th and sent it to MSBA. So the third document that says the KC community engagement updated copy with revisions, that's from MSBA, and they have taken that policy, and that is our approved community engagement policy that you looked at and reviewed. If you're happy with that policy, because it's already approved, but we said we would look at it again. If you are happy with it, then there's nothing else we need to do. If there's something that you felt you wanted to discuss about it or add or whatever, then this is our chance to discuss that. Are we okay with policy KC as we now have it approved? Super, this is going to be a shorter meeting. Okay, well, this was not, this required no vote. It was just that we wanted to make sure we were clear on policy KC, and I think we are. We're ready for item 6.03, and this is a first reading on policy change. And quite honestly, it was a pretty simple little wording, just didn't have just one or two little words that we had to change in there. Let me find it. I think it was a simple fact of taking out the 5 business days in district buildings and putting on the district website. It was just kind of updating our policy so it didn't sound like we were still living in the 80s when you had to post it on the bulletin board. Although, I'm correct on that. I miss those days. Yeah, I miss those days. So is there any discussion on any of the policy first readings?
The other three of them are for
Yeah, well, okay,
that, and then the other 2 are just names to tie into what the positions actually are.
right.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
luckily these weren't too complicated ones. Okay, well, this was just the first reading. We will vote on them in October. Moving on to item 7.01. This is our presentation on professional development plan. So Earl,
Take it away. My turn.
take it away.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody. We are here to present our annual district professional development plan. It's also known as the PDP. So this detailed plan, it really outlines the professional development process and guidelines for our district, and it's created in collaboration between myself and our district professional development committee, known as the DPDC. So Chris, if you could actually pull the actual plan up for me. Thank you. Perfect. And then we'll really be working out of like page 22. So with that being said, speaking of DPDC, we have several of our DPDC members with us. Keep going, one more. Right there, perfect. Of our DPDC members here with us. Can we give them a round of applause? The second row back here. So as I said before, this plan, it was developed really by them. They spent a lot of time working on this over the summer for your approval tonight. So as you know, MSIP 6, that is the state's accreditation process for school districts, and it requires that districts provide professional development opportunities that drive student improvement. It specifically states that PD should be ongoing and that it should focus on best instructional practices, staff growth, and student performance. And so as a district, we kick off our PD season during the off season, right? During summer. That's when our PD really starts to pick up, where we host summer workshop series. And so this past summer, we held 14 different workshop sessions And that included anything from tools to support research and writing. We had Wilson Reading. We had self-regulation for early childhood. We had youth mental health first aid. There were some PBIS sessions that people were able to attend. And then there were a lot of technology resources like engaging with BrainPop or Canva and Google Classroom. So that was our summer series. And then from that, we move into our new teacher orientation. So this past summer, August 8th, 9th, and 10th, we welcomed 55 new teachers to the district this school year. We hosted them over at St. Charles West, and they participated in 3 days worth of professional development and get to know you, to get to know some of the processes that we have here in our district. Some of their sessions included things like introduction to standards-based grading and best instructional practices. A lot of them are first-year teachers, so really engaging them with classroom management and then strategies for increasing student engagement. And then that week concluded with them having a full workday in their buildings with their mentor and with their supervising administrator. And then in addition to that, our new teachers meet monthly for networking meetings, and that's usually we separate them by elementary and secondary, and they meet and they have additional professional development that goes throughout the year. So speaking of that ongoing piece, throughout the year, we also have early release days that help, they give buildings the opportunity to plan professional development, but surrounded by their specific building needs. So it can be anything from like data-driven decision-making, PBIS. We have, I know Jefferson is doing a lot of work on restorative practices this year. They can look at assessment data and analyzing assessment data. We do PLC collaboration, school improvement. So that's ongoing throughout the year on those once-a-month early release days that we have. But by far, our biggest, our most popular PD event that we have is our support staff and our certified PD days in October. And those are coming up here on Friday, October 27th for our classified staff. And then our certified staff is Monday, October the 30th. And so with that being said, I'm actually gonna invite Tina Lauer. Katie, do you wanna join her? And they're gonna talk about our district PD day that's coming up. It's pretty exciting. We have many different PD sessions for teachers to be able to choose from. And I believe we're gonna send that information out to our staff next week to start kicking that out.
If I can type fast enough, yes. It might be the following week.
Or the week after. So Tina, you wanna just talk to us about the title and what's happening that day?
Yes, this is Katie Will. She's the co-chair, and she will take over being the chair of the DPDC next year. I'm just the advisor, so I'm just here.
She's more than that.
We know you.
And our chair is out tonight because she broke her kneecap. So she's still on the mend, so we miss
name is Katie
her name is also Katie.
Yeah.
So Katie Will and Katie Smith. So, and then we also have Ashley Panhorst and Lauren Mertz here, who are also on our District Professional Development Committee. I just wanted to talk a little bit about October 30th, and of course, you're all invited, and we hope that you can join us on that day. This is one for the certified staff and paraprofessionals and nurses and health clerks, and we kicked off the year with sending out a naming contest and we can give, we're gonna give you guys some PD books. We'll also give you VIP parking that day, and early registration. It is a big hit. So we did that, and our naming contest was actually won by Jordan Krakowski, and she's from Null, and she named ours, and this is gonna be called the Monster Mash PD Bash. So, because it's, on the day before Halloween. So, yeah, we're gonna go all out for a Halloween kind of theme. And we've been, the whole DPDC has been working really hard. In addition to Kathy Kubiak, who is the executive assistant in Dr. Draper's office, she's been helping us do all of this. We sent out a call for proposals to our staff members in the spring, and we actually have 33 of our own staff members who are going to be doing sessions that day.
And then we also have some outside presenters coming in, including our keynote presenter, who is Dr. Joe Sanfilippo. And he's going to be, his keynote's going to be about leading from where you are. And so no matter what position you have in our buildings, in our district, you can be a leader and work with our students and help lead them on their path to success. So that's what his keynote is about. And then he'll have some breakout sessions that day too. And then, let's see, some of his sessions are leadership, instructional strategies, and making connections with students and families. We also, in the afternoon, we've set up a special panel discussion for our business and marketing teachers, and also for our CAP strand of the global business and marketing, global business and entrepreneurship, sorry. Those teachers are going to be able to come to a panel discussion of local business people, local business leaders, and they are going to talk to them about what is it that they want our students to know when they come out in the business world. And so we've got people from different parts of the business world, including, we've got somebody from Wentzville, the city of Wentzville coming. We've got someone from the Economic Development Council coming, someone from Ameristar coming, talking about, travel and tourism. And we've got about 8 different leaders coming to talk to them to help with building our leaders and our students. So also, let's see.
We have some presenters from Ed Plus coming with our relationship with them, coming to do some math training with us for K-6 teachers.
That's right, and also from Ed Plus, we've got 3 strands for our paraprofessionals especially. So they'll be having 3 presenters from Ed Plus at every session level that they can choose from as well, just so that they are just specifically geared for paraprofessionals this year. So we're excited to have those too. And we just want to shout out to our DPDC members because they have been working so hard ever since the end of the last years. We've been going through the surveys from the teachers, finding what it was that they want and trying to get the presenters that they need to help them grow as instructional leaders. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any
And I would,
questions,
just to piggyback off of what they said, we are even providing our administrators with professional development on that day. Rodney and I have worked together to bring our administrators training on teacher evaluation and being able to go into classrooms and conduct observations. And then they're also going to get some, legal studies?
Sorry. Anyways, sorry, Jason. I know I'll hear about that tomorrow, so I apologize. I'm sorry. I know. It's been that type of night, been that type of day, so I apologize. Nevertheless, it is a legal seminar with Michelle Basie as a part of Tuath and Keeney. So a lot of times you hear us talking about Celinda. She is a part of Tuath Keeney legal group. Well, I think it's really important for our administrators to hear from those folks themselves, and I'm a part of a few HR organizations where I personally have Michelle Basie come from Tuath and Keeney to speak about hot legal topics to other HR professionals. So we thought it would be a good idea to have our very own administrators hear from Michelle Basie and Tuath and Keeney themselves.
So with that being said, professional development is for everyone. So on that day, we have activities, events planned for all of our staff members. And so we would like to extend the welcome for you all as well. I'll have Tina, when she sends out the sign-up sheet, to send it out to board members as well. If you like, I will tell you, they do go quick. The sessions go quick. So if you are interested in signing up for some of those, please do so, and we will welcome you on that day. That's all we have, unless there are any questions.
It was great last year. I'm looking, this one sounds even better, and
We got so much good feedback from last year. Everyone was saying it was the best one ever, so we have to try to top ourselves. But we really have been using, the surveys from the teachers and seeing what they need and trying to find those resources for them. So we're excited.
It's a
Well, and-
year-long process.
It is a year-long process.
I would add that the neat thing too is it's just not, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. It's all underneath our big rocks of student needs and RTI. So everything is under there and it's very specific to the needs of what our students and our staff and students need. And I will say this, the DBDC is a committee that all school districts have, but I would, challenge, thank you, that's the word. I would challenge anybody to find a DBDC like ours and see what other people do, and I'm sure they do some great things. What I'm getting at is the PD day that we have for our classified and certified staff is second to none. And it's these people who put it on. It's just, we would love for you to be there because it's an unbelievable day and you will learn something. You certainly will. It's awesome. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis, as well.
Do I have a motion to approve? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, were you done with your?
I didn't get a thank you, but that's okay.
Well spoken.
Thank you, Dr. Draper.
You're welcome.
I make a motion, I move to approve the professional development plan program review as presented.
I second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That professional development program passes with the thanks to Dr. Draper. Okay. I can't believe we're here already. What, did we skip over something?
We did
Item
not.
8.01,
Don't hesitate, keep going.
we're ready for the financial report.
All right, a couple of things on the report. Chris, if you want to just go ahead and pull that up, the first one, the board reports one. And just scroll down to the bottom. Just to go over that very quickly, you'll see the fund balance of $12,158,267.87. It's about $100 more than what we had in the bank at this time last year. Now, a couple of reasons we would want it to be just a little bit higher than that, but we do know that we have increased salaries and for this school year for all classified and certified staff. So that certainly takes the dip a little bit. It's still not of concern. First ASBR report that was turned in landed us at 22%. So we're right where we would like to be as we're gearing up for the new tax revenue to come back into us. So that there's no concern with the financial report, nothing that's glaring to us that would be of concern. I do want to tell the school board that the big concern, though, that we would have is our insurance, as our insurance met, I think it was early this month or late August, early this month, I can't remember when, and just started to really look at where we're trending as a district. And it's the third year of poor trends for us. No fault of the plan design and no fault of any individual. It's been very difficult times for us as a community of employees for various health reasons. And as a person that looks at this information, as our insurance broker looks at this information, as Sun Life, who banks on us meeting certain financials, looks at this information, has been a negative for all three groups. So our insurance committee meets again at the end of this month to look at how we could possibly maintain the insurance that we currently have while hopefully helping reduce some of our cost and to reverse that trend that we have been seeing for some time now. So just to throw that out there, that at this year, at this point, from January 1st to the end of August, we were 117%. We were at 117%. We believe we'd be at 105%. We were expecting that, so we're about 12% over. To give you an idea of what that looks like right now for district finances, we're trending about 1.5, 1.6 million over what the expectation was, and that's primarily due to prescriptions. And as you guys know, prescription drugs are incredibly high and hard to predict. And as technology continues to increase and develop more and more, especially life-saving medications, we're fearful that will continue to grow. Again, extremely pleased with insurance, and that's why we have it. But we also have to look at what we can afford. So we do have an insurance committee that's made up of retirees, associations, and teachers throughout the district that receive this information. We look at it, and then we'll make determinations. Ideally, we would bring plans to the board this month, but we want to be very cautious with the numbers that we're seeing, schedule probably another meeting or two before we bring a plan to the board. So my hope is to bring you a recommendation in October, but I've also said it could stretch us into November because we don't want to just meet, just to throw something out there because we feel rushed. We want to make sure that we're looking at every avenue that we could possibly look at. So that's something that I certainly don't want to ring alarm bells, but I think it's important for you all to hear as a school board. The second thing on here that we'd like to discuss is Senate Bill 190 and the impact that it could have to district finances. Senate Bill 190, if you're not familiar with it, is honestly, it's legislation that I don't think any person will argue against that I would know of. Certainly not a school district. One thing that we want to be very careful on, and we don't want anyone to hear, so I'll say it very clearly, is this is not a senior versus kid legislation. And the school district doesn't look at it that way. We're not pitting one generation against the next, nor would we ever make that point as a desire to try to develop an opinion of others. But we do want to watch it, and we do want to closely look at it and the implications that it could have on district finances. Senate Bill 190 gives the authority for all counties in Missouri. I had to look it up. There's 114 counties in Missouri. But it gives them the ability to develop their own legislation on how this is enacted and how it would be, how it impacts senior citizens. And it takes away the ability for the state to collect retirement on Social Security or pensions. But it also, the way that it would impact school districts is it can freeze or give a credit back to senior citizens 62 years of age or older if the county chooses to do so on ad valorem taxes, which is property taxes based on assessed valuation. And that's how we collect our revenue. I have reached out to the county collector. I've reached out to the county assessor. Both are very hesitant to give me a number on how this could impact us because they don't know. They don't know. They do have told me there's 36,000 households in St. Charles County that could be impacted by this in a positive light, but they don't know if that's households with people that are living with younger family members or not, so that could be reduced even more. So it's something that we have to look at, and we have to look at very closely. We do know that St. Charles County, here just about a week ago, passed legislation, passed this, and gave their approval for this bill to be enacted. We would see the impact in 2025. And the base year that the county gave was 2023. So that's what the county is saying is 2023, the tax rate and the assessed valuation could go no higher for the senior citizens in St. Charles County. With about 70% of our revenue coming from the county, from local revenue, we are fearful that it could have a negative impact on us. But again, not displeased with the legislation. The only thing that I could say that we would possibly be displeased on is the vagueness in the language and the inability to plan and predict just a few years down the road, which is where we want to be at. So there are some disagreements with how the legislation is written from county to county, and there is suspicion that it could end up being delayed depending on how it's perceived in the courts. So it's something that's fresh on our minds. It's fresh legislation for us as St. Charles County just passed it here most recently, and it's something that we're going to keep a watchful eye on. So in order to predict and plan and prepare for it. Also, one of the bigger impacts I should mention to the board, say it gets approved, and as it's written, it is approved. There is questions about who is eligible, meaning right now, as it is written, based on the language, it is undecided if retirees from railroads, retirees from education, if they are exactly eligible or not, because eligible on how the language is written is those that qualify for Social Security benefits. So I think that's important for you to hear. The other piece that's important for the school district is it could have a negative impact on our credit rating. And the biggest factor for that is the credit rating is based on our assessed valuation. And our assessed valuation, although it does not change, it does change for the school district on the ability to bring in revenue. So right now, the assessed valuation that where we stand, I want to say that we could take out a bond for 152, 154 million. I don't have the exact number sitting here in front of me right now. We're sitting at 74. If that does change, we could have a downgrade, not of any fault of our own, but just on the revenue that we have built our bond around. Again, we're pretty safe, so I don't anticipate that happening. I have reached out to our brokerage firm, Stifel, and they do not want to give any input on this at this point in time because no one truly knows the impact. But again, we agree with senior citizen help, especially from a financial perspective. We do not want the message to go out that this is to pit one generation against another generation, but we are going to be watching it closely to determine the impact on our finances as a district so we can plan accordingly. That should be it for me.
Way to go, lawmakers. But thanks for all that explanation. Is there any comments or discussion on our financial report? Do I have a motion to approve the financial report as presented?
I move to approve the district financial report as presented.
I second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes. Item 9.01, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Somebody.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all.